Alrighty fellas, yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and welcome back to our PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, and communication and discussion, what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. And we're gonna share what, in my opinion, is the coolest news. First things first, okay? This is really fucking cool, not to overhype it, okay? And not to take too much pride for these two guys, because these two gentlemen should be the ones full of pride. They did a very, very cool thing, and they represented the PokeMMO space in a really beautiful light. And let me just tell you what I'm talking about. So a little video came out recently. A little video, okay? A video that many people are talking about. I'm seeing it all over social media. I've watched previous-ish videos. If you don't know, he's a really talented, really high-edited Minecraft YouTuber who uploads these, like, I think he started the trend, started the archetype of these simulation, where you put a bunch of people on a server and you simulate certain things. He's done Rich and Poor. He's done, like, prison breaks, right? 11 million views in a month. This guy's making really, really, really high-quality content, okay? Now, I sat down to watch one of Itch's videos, which I've done many, many times over the past 2 years or so, and I spotted a little something. A little something. A name that I recognized, and I was like, surely Woomy Nation's just popular enough of a name to where it's not actually him, right? If you don't know, there's a PokeMMO player named Woomy Nation who's in Team Mister, I believe, and is a very talented shiny hunter. I was like, surely it can't be him. And then we saw K4 lit as in chat right now. Bro, two PokeMMO players made it into this Minecraft video. Maybe I'm just a big fucking nerd. I think that's really fucking cool. I think it's so cool that the grind that PokeMMO teaches you translates over to other activities. And the fact that these two people, the fact that our community is small enough yet large enough to have a healthy economy. Well, it's a little bit rough right now, but you know what I mean. The fact that our community, I recognize these two names, and I'm like, oh shit, these are PokeMMO grinders, and I can reach out to them and I double checked with them. My wife messaged them, hey, is this really you guys in the video? It's so cool, man. I think it's so cute, so wholesome. Yeah, they're basically celebrities now. I thought it was really cool, man, to be watching this video and to see two PokeMMO gamers that I recognize. I think it's so cool, and it's cool that how that skill translates to these other activities and to see them succeed in other areas on the internet. That's what it's all about, man. That's what MMOs and community like that is all a freaking about. So I thought it was so cool. Shout out to K4 and Woomy Nation. I can't believe it was actually them. Not to take too much pride for them. Once again, they should be the pride. I just thought it was so cool. I thought it was so cool. Wanted to shout them out. They've been very chill about it. All right, next up on to catch event stuff. Hard to follow up the celebrities, right? All right, we got ourselves the upcoming, I've kind of missed over this event a little bit, Electabuzz catch event on Friday the 15th of August. So if you're watching the stream recap, it is today. Hopefully you watched it early. It's at, 2 p.m. ET. 2 p.m. ET. I might be able to be live tomorrow for this, but we will see. It's up in the air. Route 222, Sinnoh. You don't have to be on channel 1. Electabuzz, Luxio, Floatzel, nature bonuses are here, and it is a shiny Electabuzz prize, 1000 RP. Once again, right now is the best time ever to win catch events because of the upcoming event season, because of Halloween, Christmas, Lunar New Year event coming up. You want to win your free RP now. This is not financial advice or a proper, I never know. When it comes to market guesstimations, you never know. I kind of feel like it also depends on if they actually release, right? With temporary incubators on the horizon, part of me is thinking RP might go up a fair bit. Like, if anything's going to be, if Shiny War is an indicator for how much Shiny Hunters can affect the market, I have an inkling that possibly RP, and RP is usually 50-50. When it comes to RP during an event season, it's impossible to predict whether it will go up or down. It's always like a literal coin flip. It's so, I wouldn't recommend that as like an investment. It's too risky of an investment. There's not enough room for profits, but it depends. But with incubators, it might be a better season. Maybe like a 60-40. So if you want to take that like coin flip, go for it. I would say there's a slightly higher chance that RP is a better investment, but still not a safe one, right? It's still a risky one. Excuse me. All right. Next up, catch event, Haxorus, Monday the 18th of August, 8 a.m. ET. That is so early for me, but it makes me happy because hopefully other people will be able to make it that normally can't make catch events. Axew, Boldor, Woobats, over in the cave where you catch these fellows. Shiny Haxorus is an amazing prize to see, man. Thank you for the sub, Cody. I'll thank you properly. Almost 2 years crazy. Shiny Haxorus, plus the free RP. We've all seen it before. Next up, the Tropius. I think this is a fantastic shiny prize. It's not the best shiny in the world, but it's a really cool, like, rarer shiny. This is on the 24th of August, Sunday at 1 p.m. ET, Route 119 in Hoenn. You got your Tropius, your Ketchlon, even your Phoebus over here, because why not? Your nature bonuses, and the shiny Tropius. This is a really, really tough shunt. This is a repel trick shunt, and a pretty difficult one at that. It can be a pain, it can be expensive. I would love a shiny Tropius. Really cool Pokemon. Check that out once again. One of your last chances to win free RP before event season. Next up, I wasn't initially going to cover this post. I didn't know what they were asking for when they were asking for a Steven buff when I read the title, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to read through and see what they have to say. And they said, if you beat Steven, who's an NPC, you should be able to get a temporary item magnet charm world buff. Okay. I don't know for how long, but he's the fossil guy. If you beat his fossil, you should be able to get some sort of buff. I'm not giving any suggestions as a balancing. I just figured it would be an appropriate word for doing this fight. This is not a suggestion I would normally think about, or I love this idea. I love the idea of a few things. World buffs, number one. I love that classic MMO feel. That's just me. Number two, buffing more NPCs to be refightable and make them worth it. Similar to Cynthia, similar to Morimoto. Right now we have a few NPCs in PokeMMO that do give large amounts of Pokeyen, so it makes them worth the refight every now and again. Obviously you can include the red refight and the Hoa refight in there if you would like to as well. We have a few NPCs already like this. I don't hate the idea of something like Steven or something like some other NPCs giving themed rewards. I also like the idea, I love the idea of themed rewards, the world buff, the item magnet charm, especially with item magnet charms being so crucial right now towards doing certain hunts. Maybe there's a fishing NPC that you can battle once a week even and get a free hour of chum bucket buff, right? Also, you could even argue that giving free-to-play players or giving players a small taste of how good Chum Bucket is would encourage them to spend RP, and, you know, it would be good for the actual devs as well to earn them more money. So maybe, like, there's a lot of arguments there. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's a pretty cool post by Alice A. Next up, event season is coming up. Event season is coming up, okay? So it's better to know about this website sooner rather than later. This is PokeMMO Hub. Let me get it properly so you guys can see the actual full length. This is PokeMMO Hub, okay? I use this, and if you're going to make investments and you want to become rich in PokeMMO, I think you almost have to use this. I think it's that important. I think it's so crucial. This is the price history. Using this website, you can see the price history of other items, things like the Lucky Red envelope. Here's my personal investment that I made on this item on my main accounts. I've sold some of them off since then, but you can see how I gained 50%, 19 million Pokeyen on this one item, right? And that was from, honestly, most of that yen was made from February to like May, within like 2 months or 3 months. Just ridiculous amounts. And you can see here, when the item came out, it's really important to understand previous event bottom outs and low prices to understand how to invest. Price history matters for the future of events and for how to make investments and how to make decisions. You need to understand the history of items prices, right? If you're investing just based off of the information you've seen in game, you're at a severe disadvantage, especially if you're a new player, right? This makes things a lot more fair or even for playing fields, okay? So we can see Lucky Reds bottom out at like 44,000 Pokeyen during the event. That's a really crucial piece of information. And then the event ended and they almost immediately rose. This is pretty severe. They usually don't immediately rise like this, but they did for this example. There was up to 60k, then eventually up to 70k, and now they're worth around 70,000 Pokeyen apiece. So most people bought these for 44k, now they're worth 70k. A good example of a safe investment is these sealed products, these Lucky Red envelopes, these goodie bags, these pumpkin goodie bags, these Xmas presents. Now keep in mind, I don't recommend in making investments in PokeMMO unless you're willing to hold the item for at least 1 to 2 years. You want to be willing to hold it for a long time. If you don't have patience, investments aren't for you, you know, which that makes sense. It's investments, not a get rich quick sort of thing. That's how it is. So that's PokeMMO Hub and the market tracker and just prep for event season. Next up, a lot of people might have noticed I'm actually on the main account today for a quick sec. I want to do a little bit of event season prep myself, right? I'm playing the Iron Man account mostly, and I'm going to be working on that, don't get me wrong. But while I'm playing the Iron Man account, why not hop on the main account every so often, do some big flips, make some passive profits? One of the coolest things you can do, in my opinion. Now, I do think it's one of the rougher times right now to be flipping. I think the market is generally pretty darn slow, since people are mostly just hoarding and saving their Pokeyen for the upcoming event season, but we'll see what we can do. For example, I have a 6.5 million Ponyta flip here. I think I bought this for 6 mil. I probably didn't make very good profit on this, but still around 400k minimum was made on this. I was trying to sell it for more for a very, very long time. We'll go ahead and collect that. We'll go ahead and collect this. Now we're up to 51 or so million Pokeyen on the main account. I might want to go ahead and like claim some of these dead listings and relist those, especially if people want like good Hitmontops or good Pokemon like this for the upcoming raids. Let's go ahead and list this like Tyrode, for example. It's 2 times 31 Jolly. I have no idea what these go for nowadays. When it was listed, it was for 200k, but that was a long time ago during a very different, metagame. Let's see what the cheapest one here is. Jolly, Tyrode. I mean, so there's not really a great example. Let's get rid of the defense stats. The defense stats are relevant, but let's see. The cheapest one's going to be 100k. I think my 200k price is honestly extremely fair, if not a bit cheaper. I'm going to relist this for 250k and see how it sells, but 200k would be very, very, very fair for that. 250k, very fair as well. We're going to list that off. And then I think other than that, I'm going to look for a shiny flip or some sort of big flip on the main account, but I'm not going to do too much beyond that. This is a good example of a shiny flip that I would avoid. It actually looks tempting, but you have to ask yourself, am I okay with tying up 3.1 million Pokeyen capital to make a, after listing fee, maybe 350k profit, right? Am I okay with buying this Gloom to sell it for 3.4999, right? 3.5 mil? I would say no. I think it's really important to ask yourself, how much profit do you want to make per shiny flip, and what's your bar for how much capital you're willing to tie up in something like that. Okay, I think this Luxray is my best target. It's 3 mil right now. It's been up for 3 days. It's 31 speed, 20 plus in attack, HP. It's only missing defense. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. I bought it for 2.999. I'm going to relist it for 3.8 to undercut the pony. Might be overpriced. Might need to have more time. I can see this selling, though, very fairly at that price. Yeah, when a 2 times 1 on Jolly is like 5, I think it's a very fair. I could see it going down to 3.6. I think already 100k under this is good. I think that's a good sale. I'm gonna go ahead and go for that. A lot of people, when it comes to shiny flipping, it's very subjective. It's hard to value these things. Some people in the comments, I'm sure, will disagree with my flip. Some will call me noobs. Some will be like, "Hey, nice find." It is what it is. I'm pretty happy with that though. I'm gonna look for maybe one more. Since that was a pretty cheaper flip. I still have plenty of Pokeyen, obviously. I'm trying to get back into things and relearn shiny flipping a little bit. It's been a while since I've really actively viewed the market, since I've been playing the Iron Man. That is one of the downsides of the Iron Man, is the more I play the Iron Man, the more out of touch I am with the current Pokemon market. All right, I do think we have some room on this as well. A Gotharita breeder. Jolly Nature, that's the main benefit there. They'd have to brace the HP. It's 2.65. I'm gonna buy it before someone else does. 2.65 was up for a few days, 6 days or so. 2.65 mil was the buying price. They're gonna Everstone the Nature and try to breed up the HP and still have 20 plus attack and every other stats. Pretty happy with this. What do I list this for becomes the next question. This one's 4.5. I feel like I can go 3.5 or 3.6 on this. It was bought for 2.65. I'm gonna list it for even 3.4. I feel like 3.4 would be a faster sell and still be a really, really, really good profit. Not that 3.4. There we go. All right. That's 2 shiny flips I'm pretty darn happy with. I could keep looking for more. But I think I'm satisfied. I like to make this more of a regular pattern on the main account and hopping on the main account every so often. You know what? Let's do one more thing. I'm sitting on investments. Let's sell off. I think right now is a better time to sell off investments. You shouldn't be buying anything right now. Let's trickling to sell a few things off is something I've encouraged recently. I have all these reds from 2024. I just don't think they're worth that much. Let's see. Red envelopes 2024. They're 7k a piece. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Probably bought them for like 4 to 5k a piece. I have 600 lucky reds from 2025. Let's sell 59 of these for... How How much money is that? I mean, it's 400k. We'll take 400k, sure. And then we'll do 100 on my lucky reds. These are the coiled snake one. We'll do 71,499. Oh, 71 for hello? 71,499. Like that. Wait, is it up to wait, they changed it so you can't even do wait, I didn't know that. That's so funny. You can't do 499 anymore. It rounds up to I mean I respect it. Understandable. Valid change. Sell 100. That's 7 mil if I sell these. We'll list that off. What else do I have that I can slowly list? I have 500 goodie bag 2022s. 2022. No, not these. I was like, wait, they're not that much. Okay. They're 29. I'm pretty happy with that. 29k. What are these? 2021s. Pumped goodie bag 2021s. They're less. They're 17k. Some years just have better vanities than others. I mean, that is always factored in. 29. Let's check the history on this. There's not a whole lot of the PokeMMO Hub has way better history than the in-game thing for the time being, since the new in-game GTL changes are so new. I could see myself selling off some of these. It's not a bad time as well with the upcoming Halloween event. How much are these? If I sell off 100 for 29k, do I care about 3 mil to decrease that stack? I don't know if I do. I'd rather just sit on them. They're so old at this point. 2022 sealed product. That's you have to ask, like, would I rather just sit and wait for the chance, the opportunity for them to possibly go up more over time? Maybe an old vanity gets ruined. You think about, like, recently, a bunch of vanities got reworked, right? You have to factor in if vanities get reworked, if something changes, if all of a sudden people fall in love with a certain vanity. There have been times where a new PokeMMO team is created, and all of a sudden, someone wants to make, let's say, what's an old vanity that's on, like, let's say someone makes a new team and they're like, okay, Ecto Goggles is our item for our team, right? Well, now 150 people or a lot of people got to buy Ecto Goggles, right? So there's things like that that just happen in PokeMMO. It's not the most frequent thing in the world, don't get me wrong, but you've got to factor in, would you rather sell off your stack and just take the profit, or just have that risk of something? Where's the globe, the snow globe vanity? There's a snow globe vanity I'm thinking of I want to check on. Got a bunch of stuff over in my... This vanity is so goofy. The bat hat. How are bat hats sitting? You know what? Speaking of investments, how are bunny tails? I bought 1 million of these for 20k. 31k. Not bad. How are Kobans? How's my fellas? 33. Oh no, the great Koban crash. These were at one point like 75k. These were bumped up. Let's go see what else we got. Fairy Elfbot hats. I think I lost a lot of money on these. Really good to show you guys, like, not every investment's a winner. Sealed investments are almost always safe, but it's fun to also take risky ones. I vehemently thought Fairy Elfbots would be, like, super popular. I'm pretty sure I bought most of mine, I want to say, for 500 or 600k. I think I lost. Yeah, I think these, I could be wrong. I don't remember the exact price, to be fair. But I thought these would for sure, the pink little Christmas, I thought these would for sure be a hit. Look at the flower pin. Is that a seasonal? Flower. Yes, it is seasonal. So there's no room on that to ever go up. That's a investment 101. Never, ever, 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 ever buy seasonals, or at least mass supplies of them. There's no room for them to go up. They come back every single year. There's no, like, real profit there. Sometimes it happens occasionally, but it's not really an investment from the most part. Okay, that's the gotcha. The flower pen used to be a 400k semi-rare from the bags and turned into a 10k common. That's really sad. That is, I didn't think of the explanation on that. That's really fucking sad. I don't know why. I don't feel like it, hopefully, I don't know if we've seen that happen. I don't like the amount of seasonal vanities we have. I'd rather have way less seasonals and just more, like, limited. I like when vanities are limited. A lot of limited vanities are still really cheap. Like, it's pretty rare, you know? Flower pin over Holly Hairclip. Okay, don't say that, because I love the Holly Hairclip because nostalgia, but you're correct. Like, here's the flower pin, for example, which is, once again, 12k. Here's the Holly Hairclip, which is 60 mil. I love me some Holly Hairclip. For those who don't know, I Back in 2015 Christmas, I made the dumbest, this was like when I was, how old was I? 16, 17-ish? Dumbest financial decision possible, and I gambled all my Pokeyen that I had on my account. I liquidated everything and sold stuff to gamble on the 2015 Christmas sealed product because there was the candy cane that year. And the candy cane, is it not even on the GTL? What? The candy cane was like the rarest, most expensive vanity we had ever seen during an event. The candy cane was like 30 mil during, maybe like 15 or 30 mil during the event. That was a lot of Pokeyen back then. That was a lot. I had 7 mil to my name, and I gambled it all on the Christmas sealed product of 2015. And then I spent all that. I sold everything. I spent like 8 mil more. I spent everything. I liquidated whatever, right? And I ended up with 3 Holly hair clips, which at the time were 20,000 Pokeyen. I got 3 Holly hair clips, which were worth jack shit. And I was pissed. They were 20K. I was like, I'm not even going to waste my time selling these, was the thought process. I logged off the game for like, I quit the game for years because I made this dumb mistake, my mistake of gambling, right? I was young and stupid. And then I come back in like 2016 or 2017. I come back about a few years later and I'm like, oh my God, Holly hair clips are 100K a piece. This piece of shit, dog shit vanity that nobody likes. Easiest sale of my life. I instantly sold all 3 of mine for 100K. Didn't even think about it. Nowadays, you skip forward a few more years, they're worth 60 mil. Old vanities have a way of, they're just rare, man. They're just rare, and old vanities have a, yeah, I used to be young and stupid, now I'm old and stupid, actually based. Just one of those things. It just, you know, it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda moment. Not, you know, I wouldn't change anything different. It's how it turned out, but it's just funny. Just an interesting story of my little Holly hair clip tale that I'm sure a lot of people have. But anyways, see you guys in the next stream recap. This has been a long ramble about the market. So someone asked, like, is it okay for Iron Man to do trade evolutions? It's a great question. My answer is, that's one of those, do whatever you want to do. I wouldn't, which sounds kind of mean. If someone really needed help with a trade Evo, I would just hop to the main account. The main downside is, I just don't want other people's OTs touching the Iron Man account. I know it's kind of extreme. Like, I really don't want to worry about, I don't want to disrupt the sanctity of the account, right? The only thing that could happen is you could get an extra owned OT Pokedex entry that you don't have caught OT. And I already got that for my PvP reward, and I hated that. That felt like un-Iron Man to me. So I think trying to avoid that is good. Someone else, the question's been brought up. I think this is a really interesting, you know, what qualifies as an Iron Man, what doesn't. There's a lot of things I think people can do if they want to that I wouldn't consider them not an Iron Man if they did. But there's obviously any sort of like trading or GTL usage almost immediately disqualifies you, in my opinion. However, there is a question of like, is it okay to trade or mail stuff off of your Iron Man account, right? So something you can do in RuneScape, I played an Ultimate Iron Man, I understand this, is you can drop items over to your main account if you can't, like on an Ultimate Iron Man, for those who don't know, is an account that cannot trade, use the Grand Exchange in Old School RuneScape, or bank. So you end up with way too many items you can't keep, and sometimes expensive items. I've dropped 40 million gold worth of Ceradome and Brews on my Ultimate Iron Man over to my main account, and then I can use that gold to buy bonds to fund the Ultimate Iron Man. That's what I did playing that account, right? Or I've dropped, like, I've got like 3 pairs of Ranger boots because I'm a lucky piece of shit on the Ultimate Iron Man. I dropped 2 of those over to the main account. I don't need that many pairs of Ranger boots, right? They're worth like 30. They were worth like 30. I don't know what they are now. They're like 30 mil gold at the time. So like, there's a question of like, is it okay to trade or like mail or get stuff off of your Iron Man over to your main if you want to? If people were doing that, I would not fault them at all. I think that's super fine, super valid. If you're just trading stuff off your account that you literally don't have space for in like your PC box, like my PC box is getting really full. I could see that. I'm not going to do it personally because I just want to keep it as integral as possible for the sake of the channel and the sake of the series, right? But I think if someone was trading stuff to their main account off of their Iron Man account, they just couldn't. I have no problems with that. I think that's so, getting rid of stuff versus getting, yeah, for sure. Like getting rid of stuff shouldn't put you at because you could just throw away or release if you're going to release the Pokemon anyway, I see no harm in, throwing some one-time slotted ones over to the main account. It's the problem is that you end up with mail logs and trade logs. There is like discussion to be had there, but I would be fine with it personally. I think it's, as long as there's no official Iron Man game mode, it really comes down to whatever you want to do. Just make sure you qualify. Like some people allow buying vanities off the GTL as an Iron Man account. Now, I wouldn't call that an Iron Man account. I'd call it like a Bronze Man or like something. Name it something else, or just say like, hey, I'm an Iron Man account, but I do allow buying vanities. I think that's fine, but it's really important to qualify that, because then if you just say, hey, I'm an Iron Man account, and you don't qualify that, someone might see you with an old vanity or with a rare vanity, but oh my god, how'd you get that? That's so cool. But it's actually not. It's still cool, but it's not as cool because you didn't. It's the difference of. So an Iron Man who actually got that in like the Iron Man way versus you didn't. So there is stuff like that. There's a lot of, everything's up in the air right now as it's an unofficial game mode. So as long as you qualify, you can play Pokemon however you want to, as long as you're honest with people and how you play it. That's really what it comes down to. And I'm excited to hopefully get an official game mode one day so that we can have like solidified rules in paper or on text in the game. And I would love if the Pokemon devs want to reach out to me and a bunch of other Iron Men, not just me, consult me and other Iron Men to iron out those rules. I'm sure they'll have questions on what is exactly an Iron Man and what rules we want for that. I would love to help weigh in, as well as a lot of other, like I think Iron Veggie, like people who are top Iron Men should be able to weigh in on that discussion as well. So hopefully we'll have that in the next year or so. But obviously the devs are working on, they're busy. Raids, VGC, there's other things right now. I'm not rushing for Iron Man to become an official mode. I would just love to see it in the next year or two, perhaps. And obviously, I'd love to see a Nuzlocke mode as well. Anyways, let's keep playing PokeMMO. I probably should take a second to actually make a clip about this, because a lot of people might be upset about this. I'm sorry in advance. This weekend, this Sunday, there will be a Iron Man recap episode, or not even that, a movie montage, which is episodes 5 through 8 in one video. It's a 9-hour or 10-hour-ish video. A lot of you guys have already seen those videos. If you're caught up on the Iron Man series, a lot of you have seen it. That video is not for you, and I want you to know that so you don't accidentally watch it or waste your time or something like that, right? However, the reason I'm doing it is because a lot of people, for a few reasons, a lot of people have expressed to me that they're behind on the Iron Man series and they can't catch up because of there's a 3-hour video uploaded every Sunday, right? You have to try to keep in mind, a lot of people don't have time to watch a 3-hour YouTube video every week. That's so much. That's a really, so I like to do these recap episodes, or these, not even recap, montage. I do plan to do a recap episode at some point, which is going to be, which that will be like, all the big moments, like the Zapdos catch, the Corsola catch event. Like, I do plan to do a proper recap. That'll be a lot more effort, to catch people up in like a much more succinct manner. That'll be the idea there. But there will be a montage this Sunday. So it helps people catch up, number one. It gives me a little bit of a stress-free week, and let me focus on the quality of the next video. Like the current Iron Man episode I'm working on, the PvP one, is going to be a massive video. Like, I think over 3 hours. I could be wrong, but it'll be super, super long, as well as a bunch of PvP videos being uploaded alongside it. So, I hope you guys understand and can wait an extra week for more Iron Man content. You can always watch live as well. I do stream the Iron Man content live, which is a little bit of a spoiler warning. If you want to see it chronologically laid out, that's what the Iron Man series is for. But if you want to see it a little more sporadically, live is fine. Just to give you guys a warning, this Sunday is going to be a montage episode as opposed to a new fresh episode, which is not for everybody, but I had to give people time to catch up. It gives people time to catch up, and it gives me a little bit of a break as well, and allow me to focus on the quality of the series. So I appreciate the understanding, and I will be uploading an extra video that Sunday, because I don't want, maybe even an extra stream on tomorrow or Friday or something like that. I don't want people who are caught up to be punished. I want you guys to also have a lot of content. I really do pride myself on uploading every single day and doing that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll keep going. Appreciate your understanding, appreciate your patience, and long live the Iron Man series. I fucking adore it, dude. All right, someone asked, hey Pat in chat, how much Pokeyen should someone save up to be efficient during next year's Shiny War? Ooh, we ran over the numbers recently. There are people who spent as much as $1 billion, which is insane for one person to spend in a year on Shiny War. I think if you want to be efficient in War, you can do it for much less than that. Don't worry. But it's still going to be a lot. There's no way around it. It's going to be expensive to be efficient in Shiny War. 400 mil is completely enough. I would even go lower than that. Kuroshi's ended up spending like 300. I think you could be 1000% efficient during Shiny War with like 300 mil. So what that means is you could probably be like 90% or 80% efficient with like, I think 100 mil is the minimum you should have going into Shiny War, and that should include like some dittos and stuff like that, like a lot of it. So like, I would say anywhere from 100 to 300 mil. I think that, which is still an insane amount of money, but it is an amount that can be made like in a fair bit. Yeah, also, man, yeah, Kuroshi said 200 to 300 if they don't add temporary incubators. If they add temporary incubators, that becomes a tough. I don't know how to count that in. Yeah. Or yeah, that's yeah. I would say 100 to 300 mil Pokeyen to be efficient in Shiny War. It is, once again, it's the Super Bowl of Shiny hunting. It's the best of the best. It's expensive. There's no way around it. You know, if you want to Shiny hunt casually, you can do it for free. Or Shiny hunt, not even casually. You can still Shiny hunt very seriously and do it for free, which I always encourage people to do. You don't need to pay to Shiny hunt. It's always been, Shiny hunting historically has been one of the like most free like activities in Pokemon, but only as of the past year or two has it become like a pay to play activity in some ways, which I try to just recommend people to avoid. Just do your time swipe hordes near PCs. There are fantastic Shiny hunts you can do. Druddigon, Wooper, Swablu. There's so many fun shunts that are just free near a PC. Definitely check those out before you spend any amount of Pokeyen on shunning, in my opinion. All right, it is time for either your least favorite or most favorite part of the stream recap. What's up? It is time for the Movietrouski takes. If you don't know, my name is Patrouski. I've been watching a lot of movies recently. Do I know a lot about movies? No, not at all. I just like watching them. That's it. I'm not here to fucking give semantic, pedantic, overcomplicated, tip my little tobacco pipe. I'm not a cinephile. I kind of hate that term, although if you are one, more power to you. You probably know a lot more about movies than I do. I like watching movies. I've watched about a movie a day, if not over that, through the year of 2025, at least one movie a day. So let's jump into it. I wanted to wait until I had a positive movie on my recently watched before I could give a Movietrouski take, because recently I've watched some bad movies. For example, we watched Freakier Friday. Now, I would have never normally gone to watch Freakier Friday in theaters unless me and my wife have a local movie theater pass to our theater. We pay a flat fee every month. We can go see unlimited movies. It allows us to see a lot of things we wouldn't have normally seen, and that's given us some really good experiences like Warfare, my favorite movie I've seen in theaters in my entire life. Warfare is amazing. Check it out. But Freakier Friday, you know, not a shocker that I didn't love it. It's not for me. It's not my kind of thing. I hate Lindsay Lohan. Her acting is pretty bad in this movie. This movie in general, this movie is really weird. I actually had a really long, passionate review. My review of Freakier Friday is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs. I don't know why. I had a lot to say about this movie. I had a lot more to say. I don't know. This movie made me so illogically upset. But also, okay, the movie's really bad for 95% of the movie, but then for some reason the dramatic moments still hit, even though the acting is really bad and it's all really goofy and they do no serious setup at all. But for some reason, because they are talented actors, they just don't give a shit through 95% of the movie. But then when the serious scenes happen, you're locked in. I swear I almost cried in this movie, and I still gave it a 1.5, which is a 3 out of 10, because it's really dog shit. The first 95% of the movie is horrible. It's a 1 hour and 50-minute movie, and the only part that was worth watching was the last 50 minutes, in my opinion. I also just really don't like this concept. I didn't really like the original Freaky Friday. I'm pretty sure I gave that a 2 out of 5. So it's just not for me. Is another thing to factor in. I'm also really, really sick of trendy stuff in movies that won't age well. Actually, I gave the original Freaky Friday a 4 out of 5. That's way better than I'll have to rewatch the original Freaky Friday. That feels too high. But anyways, Freakier Friday, man, it's not. I didn't like it. I hate the trendiness of oh, we have to mention pickleball. Every fucking movie mentions pickleball and podcasts. I'm crashing out over this, bro. Freakier Friday, Smurfs did this. Smurfs mentioned Zoom and podcasts. I don't know what's happening. Every movie thinks they need to mention podcasts and pickleball for people to like it, and I hate it. I'm so sick of it. I'm losing my mind over that. So yeah, and Freakier Friday does all the Zoomer slop trends of just naming all the buzzword stuff. Gaslight, girl boss, slay queen. I hate it in movies. If you want to do it, more power to you. I hate it in movies. Yeah, I really, really didn't enjoy Freakier Friday. But I gave it was still had the positives of it. Weirdly, the cinematography and certain decisions of the directing felt really good. Not that I'm a great, understanding of that, but there was a scrapbook sequence. So they had a time skip. They had a scrapbook time sequence that was really cool. They also did this really cool blurred fisheye lens when they woke up in their bodies, and they did a lot of really cool directing decisions and effects that actually made you a little more sucked in. So I'll give you that. Next up, Nope. Okay, I have to qualify. I was really cranky when I watched Nope. Like, really mad. I need to rewatch this movie because I think it's probably closer to a 2, like a 4 out of 10. I was really unfair to this movie when I was really mad. However, it's not a good movie. And it sucks because my review of Nope basically goes like this. I thought that when people said that Nope got mixed reviews after Get Out and Us, I was like, that's... Jordan Peele is so talented. Get Out and Us are both 10 out of 10. Perfect, like, amazing masterclasses in horror and great commentary. Like, amazing. There's no way that Nope could be bad. And oh my god, I was insanely wrong. I love Us. I think Us gets... People always about... Get Out is really good. Like, really, really good. I think people sleep on Us because of Get Out. They're both amazing. I couldn't believe how bad Nope was. Nothing happened. I did not feel a shred of suspense. I did not feel a shred of thrill. I did not feel a shred of any emotion. I dropped it after watching an hour and 20 minutes of the movie. I was so bored. I was so not into it. I did not give a shit about anything. I need to rewatch it and try to turn the lights off. And it feels like one of those movies you have to like really try to get sucked into. And I just couldn't, dude. I'm going to try it again. I'll give it a rewatch at some point, but man, I despised Nope. It was so boring and nothing happened. There was nothing interesting for the first hour and 20 minutes. It's like a 2-hour movie. All right, finally a positive review, okay? I don't like just bashing movies I don't like. I want to move on to the positive stuff. Dude, Batman Begins. I think this movie, it sounds insane. I think this movie is somehow underrated, dude. Oh my god. Batman Begins is so fucking good. When someone tells me their favorite movie is The Dark Knight, you kind of roll your eyes. You're like, yeah, it's really good. I get it. Okay, you're an edgy boy, sure. But then you watch, you're like, wait a minute. Maybe he spit. Because when was the last time you watched them? They're actually so good. Batman Begins came out in 2005. I think Batman, I need to rewatch The Dark Knight to verify. But I think Batman Begins might be my favorite in the trilogy. Also, let me qualify. I rewatched Batman Begins recently. Or sorry, I rewatched in theaters. I'm sorry. I rewatched Batman Begins in theaters for the 20th anniversary 4K re-release. So that also factors in. I watched in theaters. Amazing theater experience. Aren't you a certified Dark Knight hater? No, not at all. I'm pretty sure I have Dark Knight rated like a 4.5 or a 5 on Letterboxd. I love The Dark Knight. It's a great movie. It's kind of like, it's just a cold. It's kind of like saying like, oh, Interstellar is the best movie ever made. Okay, yeah. What else? Like, move on. Like, I love Interstellar. I think I would argue Interstellar is maybe not my favorite, but arguably the best movie ever made. There's not much to say is the problem. That's a boring thing. But the Batman Begins, oh my god, it's so good. I miss when origin stories for superheroes were actually done in a patient manner. I hate that every origin story for a superhero in 2025 is, okay, here's let's spend 15 minutes introducing you to the character, and now we have a world-ending plot in the same movie. Why are we doing world-ending plots in the origin story? They don't do that in Batman Begins. They do like oh, hey, let's spend 2 hours or like an hour and 45 minutes of Batman Begins is his true origin. Is his true, like, slow, methodical, but you're never bored. You're always engaged. You're always interested. Yeah, Fantastic Four. I like Fantastic Four. I give it like a 7.5 out of 10, but Fantastic Four did that shit where it's like, oh, here's all the characters, no backstory, no origin. Oh, they went to space, I guess. I don't know. Galactus. And it's like, what are we doing? It's so rushed. It's so checklist. It's so like you're trying to sell a product, not a good story or a movie, okay? I miss when movies would trust the audience to not get bored during an origin story, because Batman Begins is so good. It keeps your focus. It keeps you engaged. It is so fucking interesting. Every little scene, it feels like the movie, it's a 2-hour and 20-minute movie, and it feels so tight. It feels like they couldn't cut a single scene. It's like really, really impressive. Oh my goodness. I miss when they just trusted the audience to pay attention, and not every superhero movie had to be a world-ending threat. There's like in the first hour and 45 minutes is just origin story for Batman, and like the final 45 minutes is like there's a local small threat in Gotham that's going to affect like a part of the city. Like, it's really, really well done. And they make it feel really impactful and dramatic. Yeah. Batman Begins is fantastic. God, it's aged so well. So I'm excited to. I don't think I'll be able to watch The Dark Knight is also showing in theaters. Actually, I will be able to watch it Sunday. They're showing The Dark Knight in theaters on this Sunday for my local theater. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch that in theaters and rewatch that for the first time in a very long time. Maybe that I have that on as a 4.5 on Letterboxd. Maybe that'll get bumped up to a 5. I don't know. And then I actually, fun fact, I never watched. I've watched The Batman Begins and I've watched The Dark Knight. I've never even seen The Dark Knight Rises. funny reason why. The reason why I've never seen The Dark Knight Rises is because I used to, I grew up not the best off, didn't have a whole lot of access to money or movies, so I tried to watch The Dark Knight Rises on a sketchier website. And when I heard Bane's voice, I literally thought it was so goofy. I thought it was a way for them to avoid copyright. His voice was so high-pitched and so comedic. I thought I was watching like a bootleg copy that had the wrong voice. And then years later, I tried to rewatch it and I was like, oh my God, that's actually just the voice in the movie. I couldn't believe it. My brain, I was like, that's in no way. So I literally couldn't get through the movie because I thought the Bane's voice was so horrendously, laughably bad. I couldn't do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to push through. I bet you it's a great movie, but I couldn't. I'm going to try this year. I'm going to watch the whole Batman trilogy and I'll give my thoughts. They're really good, man. Really cold take. They're really good. They're really good. So let's see how The Dark Knight goes. Alrighty, fellas. Another successful day of PvP in the books. My wise mentor Spidget once told me to stop playing PvP when you get a little upset, and we just beat Stall in that last game. But was it unfun? Yes. So you know what? We're going to call it. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe on YouTube for daily PokeMMO videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube membership, Twitch Prime, Twitch subs, PayPal, and Venmo, and Factor, the best way to support is signing up for Factor. Link in the description. It's a meal kit service where they send you meals. The first order is 50% off. Half off of food in this economy. In my opinion, it's worth for everybody to try it at that point. It's up to you. Check it out. It's the best way to support me, as well as get yourself an awesome deal. For every single Factor sub, I will be adding an hour to the streamathon at the end of the month, and I would love to do some PvP, maybe some shunathons, a fashion contest, whatever events come up towards the end of the month. But for now, I will see you guys later. Have a good one. I might see you live tomorrow. I might not, but other than that, I'll probably see you Monday. Thanks for watching another week of streams. Love you guys. Have a good one. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.